Hello.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Hello. Are we going to go?
Oh, yes.
Welcome to Studio Snack. I'm Lydia Thornley, designer, creative director and sketcher.
And I'm Narciso Oleda, all-rounded creative.
So what have we learned from all of this for our creative practice?
I also really think that businesses should be doing a little bit more of that exercise where you can actually repair things. Hugh Denim repairs jeans for life, so you can have your jeans repaired every time that they break. Or our friend Letizia Credidio that found like a fabric roll in the recycling point in East London, and she's been using it for repurposing it to create her the packaging for her loungewear.
It's also about value. Often the magic in a project is in answering a question I can see, but it isn't in the brief. But I've even been the added value. When I sketch at events, I'm part of the experience for guests. They like to come and see what I'm doing.
For example, there's a few hospitals that they inspired themselves on the Formula One pit stops to transfer people from the beds to the operation tables. And also the piano inspired the typewriter.
Some of them looked like pianos to start with.
Yes, actually. One thing I've learned is that you can take a brief and then modify it. I started with an ambitious brief, and then I realized that my skills and my time and my everything wasn't very realistic.
And I think we do that so instinctively that we don't even think about it as part of our process. I liked discovering how Tony's used creativity to explain serious issues without being preachy. Well, I think it's interesting that design is good at spotting opportunities and evolving with behaviour. Which would bring us on to poo, but this is a food podcast about design, so I won't go in that direction. And one of the interesting parallels with design too in growing things is that there's that element of unpredictability. There's seed, there's compost, there's climate. You have to be constantly watchful and adaptable, as we do in our design process.
When you rush any baking, mostly, it's the perfect recipe for spelling mistakes or for low resolution images, or you're gonna get like an average design where there's no innovation. It's just something that's a little bit meh. And then the other thing I noticed when I did my designs was that I created some logos for the Studio Snack. You can also see them in Instagram, but they don't look or feel like pretzel. And I think pretzel has like a very strong brand shape that it's actually when you change the shape, that doesn't feel like it's a pretzel.
It's recognisable, isn't it? And we quite often have to hold on to that when we're working on brands. Well, pet food packaging is big business, and my first thought was, should we be designing for the species the food is for? Which is of course nonsense, because pet food is bought by humans. There's pet food that looks scientific, luxurious, tasty, natural. It's all about differentiation, and maybe humans want to think of themselves as understanding their pets. But it reminds me that the audience isn't necessarily the end user. But we thought what was really interesting was once we'd put it all in the hedgehog, it was all just cheese. And that's quite a nice metaphor for humans, isn't it?
And living together and perfectly in harmony, I think, as well. It was a good experiment, really fun. In terms of design, I think all the ideas, or most of the ideas, come from input that we get. And whether it's conscious or unconsciously, it actually influences our work. For example, I'm thinking the I Love New York from Milton Glaser, how many times we've seen it in any other countries or any other applications.
And we can recycle skills as well. In late career, I'm finding new uses for skills and processes that I first learned as a kid. Because I project, darling. Sorry, I'm going to have to start that
That's
one
okay.
again. At home, I'm going to start that
Yeah,
again.
that's fine. I'm just making here something that I have not written.
Do you want to start that bit again?
Yes. I just don't know where I'm going. Right. One of you with the blah.
I think we've got enough in there.
I think so, yeah.
Bye and happy snacking.